Okay, this is a blog for Wednesday, the 23rd of March. Blog review. This week we went over the assembled school scene, and in this school scene we needed to kind of focus on the exits and entrances. To start the school scene was the bus scene where Joe was the driver and we were just kind of all crowded in the bus with all the different groups, the jocks, the mean girls, the skaters and the nerds. For this scene we realised that the people before, so the narrators, wouldn't be able to get to the bus scene, the bus scene quick enough because they needed to change and put their grey or their tops back on. So instead of them coming straight on and doing the bus scene, we decided that instead of that, they would have to now just come on for the movement section when everybody freeze frames around Chris. This was a good change because of otherwise, obviously, the narrators wouldn't have had any time to change, which was a good thing. We also had to work on the choreography in the school section because when it came to it, the choreography was a bit kind of messy. Although I wasn't in the choreography, like commenting on the people around me, I would say that I don't think the class as a whole kept up was in time really with the fast counts that were the choreography. So therefore Emma changed the counts and slowed them down, which was really helpful and beneficial to the class, I think, because it allowed everybody to kind of slow down the movements and make sure they knew what they were doing, which was good. We also had to emphasize the movements and make them look bigger and better, because at the moment we were all half-heartedly kind of doing it and not really giving it our all, which we really needed, because when it comes to the final show we can't really pull out, well, we could pull it out the bag, but we kind of need to know what we can do with our abilities. Straight after this routine had finished, we started to look at ways we could set the chairs up on stage instead of having people just kind of walk on and put the chairs on, which would be boring. Emma decided to make it into a routine, and the fact that she decided to make it into a routine I really liked, because it wasn't just boring and wasn't just people walking on stage, and which was nice. So we decided that it was, I think, Molly, Sam and Matthew were responsible for setting up mine, Chiron's and Shazzy's chairs. And then Nadine, Eleanor and Matthew were responsible for setting up the other chairs. The routine included some cartwheels and flips across the stage, which was really nice. It was using different areas of the space and really using all the kind of proxemics you could, which was nice from a director's point of view, because you weren't just obviously staying in one space, you were using all of it, which was really good. At the end of the week, we did a full dress run through, which was nice, as we hadn't done a proper full run through with dress since since ever, really. So it was nice to get a feel for what we would actually be looking like on the night and kind of get to know our costumes and get to know how it would feel to move in them and actually carry out the piece in them. After the dress run through, we had some feedback, which was really helpful because we needed to improve or try and improve on what we had already done. The following feedback was about the dance choreography in our groups, because we had just added that in. As before, we hadn't really, we had run through the piece, but we hadn't really focused on adding Hannah's movement sections into the piece. So it was interesting to see how well they fit. So obviously the feedback went along the lines of that we had to clear up our kind of facial expressions, make sure we knew what we were doing, because at the moment we all had deadpan and kind of dancers' faces and weren't really giving or conveying any expressions, which is definitely important because otherwise you don't really have any character when you're trying to convey one. We also need to bring it way more to life and make sure we know the movements, rehearse the choreography, and make sure everything's clean before the performance. For the opening section of the calf scene, we worked on the timings of the life freeze, which needed to be kind of sorted. We also worked on the movements where we're sat in the calf scene, because everybody was getting the timing mixed up for that and it just wasn't really going to plan. This week, the teachers' scene, I think we went well. Everybody's settling way more into their characters, and as we settle into our characters, I think we kind of project more to the audience and we convey this better and more comfortable character. I definitely need to work on kind of the interactions with the other teachers, because at the moment I'm conveying my character and bringing it across to the audience, but I'm not really doing it to the other teachers, and I don't think I'm kind of doing as much as I could to interact with the two teachers around me, which are Chiron and Shazzy. Chiron and I don't really have the greatest relationship with Shazzy in the piece. She's kind of the teacher that we're like, oh, we don't really like that much, and we're trying to develop our characteristics towards that in the piece. We're also working on the timings with the signers, because although it's been a continuous note, we do need to slow down sometimes with the speaking, and it's definitely important to remember that we do have signers signing and that we do need to kind of respect them and think about them when doing our piece and running through it. I think once we've done that and we've rehearsed a bit, I think the piece will definitely be much more better, and it'll come to life more. For the devil and angel scene, the physical theatre scenes that we've added to the teachers scene, I think the spacing needs to be kind of worked out for that. But other than spacing, I think both angel and devil scenes just need a bit more rehearsing. And that's it, yeah, for the angel and devil scenes. They're really good. I would say that I think the audience will like it, because it's two completely contrasting things and it kind of breaks up our spoken section a bit, which is really nice. And finally, towards the end of the play, we need a kind of repetitive words getting mixed up. Oh yeah, we need to make sure we're clear because of lots of our words get mixed up and things sound really repetitive as we just do our lines again and again, and we need to make sure we're clear and the audience will understand us. Overall, I think we're in a good place where the show, as we have lots of weeks to come, so at the moment it's a good place, and these notes we just need to make like small adaptations, and these small adaptations will definitely make the show stronger, which will be nice. But I really wish we could have like one solid run through where we just get through everything completely. That would be really nice to have that for once. And that is it.